number. So it's a package of things. Formalization, probably, systems in place, credit, so the number, and see how we can actually adjust the policies and the regulations to favor them. I earlier communicated that, look, over 70% of our incentives target big players.
Yeah.
Yet 70% of our economy is supported by MSMEs. So there's a disconnect there. Why do you feed a dog and leave a cash cow? A cash cow, not only in terms of the monies that they pay in terms of taxes, might not be so much, but there are some invisible incentives, there are some invisible things that are done by MSMEs. For example, employment. That's a very, very big bullet that you can actually bank on to support MSMEs. If they're commanding 70% of the economy, you need to support them. You need to, actually, my assumption would have been, or my expectation would have been, for each of the parties contesting to say, look, here is the package for what is supporting 70% of our economy. Here is a policy that speaks to their pain points. And where do you get the pain points? You don't get them from ChatGPT. You don't get them from Google. You have to go down there
and understand.
And understand. I earlier shared a narrative where someone, just because there was a given project that was given, the thing remained empty. It was a white elephant in the area. It had to be reconnected to another area. So you can imagine, just because something is there, someone pushes for it. Why? Because he has not gotten the data on ground. So I must say that you need to get down there, understand their plight through the associations, and then have a package that speaks to their pain points. But yes, on accessing the money, we cannot judge yet because we are just starting. So you never know. Someone might cut a deal that might turn their lives around.
That's very true. General, and picking from what you've said and coming to Mr. Walugembe, on the issue of formalization, because I'm thinking out loud, there is this business you want to directly deal with, maybe a political party, but they want to deal with someone who is registered. And it brings in what Jen said, subcontracting of a subcontractor and subcontractor. And some of your members end up being ripped off. How are they being helped and prepared in that regard? But also the conversation of these manifestos. Who are they even interested in reading into them? Who is helping them understand and internalize? Because some of these candidates, presidential or member of parliament, will come to them, will come to their associations, will come to their places of work, seeking for the vote. Who is there to help them scrutinize those manifestos to tell them that this is what we want when you go to parliament, this is what we want when you become president?
Different things.
Okay.
So they are not going down there to explain to people that this is what is in my manifesto. No, they said they focus on local grievances and so on. These are what the different parties are proposing. We also want to avoid a situation where we appear to be taking sides or positions or whatever. So what we do therefore is to allow the candidates themselves to communicate this message to the SMEs. For us as an association, every year we prepare what is called the SME agenda. So our agenda is clear. So anyone who feeds as individual members. Now on the issue of whether the SMEs can get ripped off and so on, you see most of these contracts, they are verbal and so on because they fear to spend. Okay, so
simple.
Just write something. So and so has agreed to do this and that and so on. You can take these people if it's below. How can we ensure that SMEs don't have to go through complex legal processes to ensure that some of these matters are resolved? But also, we want to appeal to our politicians. These SMEs should not be looked at as people you should just milk from. Because sometimes when you're elected, all these taxes you put on their heads to support, to grow, and deal with them in all aspects. Aspects of everyone should form, as if when you formalize, they say line up here for money, you know. So okay. It has its costs, you know. So as much as one people for messages and get a heart attack, so these are all issues that we must make clear as we encourage our SMEs to take on some of these responsibilities.
All right, planning is a key one, Jen, for SMEs. And I picked that from our earlier conversation about inventory. Like John has said, and some of them could have even borrowed already, preparing, because we know, and some of them are having inventory that they may not even be able to in this regard, if things don't turn out as had earlier been planned.
Mm-hmm. How Uganda is graduating from to the lower middle,
to the upper middle income.
Middle income. that's really good that we are now focusing on the future, how do we trajectory where we are going to go, so that Mildred, in the next 5 years, you don't invite us here or maybe other people. How do we move from one level to another? And this is what is missing out in all the... Let me give you an example. FDC was talking about reducing borrowing. How do you reduce borrowing today? You know, today. We should be talking about where we are borrowing from, not Standard Chartered